Got 5 minutes on.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Valley Voice. I'm your host, Chris Baumgartner. Today we will be talking about the rugby team, and alongside me is Nick Pastore. Nick, how are you doing today?
Good, how about yourself?
I'm good. So, the new year's here and the new rugby team is here. So, how has Coach Chevy and Coach Rosie helped establish the culture of the team so far this season?
So I'd say to establish it this season, they've got us a lot more games than previous seasons. Coach Graham, who was the coach in previous years, he built a good foundation for us, made a name for Neuqua Valley, put us out there. But Coach Chevy and Rosie both are really just getting us out there even more and getting us more games against top-ranked teams and just trying to get us to be the best we can.
Yeah, so obviously last year you guys lost a close game to Brother Rice in the state championship. So how do you guys look to rebound after a tough loss like that?
This year, everyone's getting after it. We're just all trying to get better. We brought in another couple more coaches that are teaching us new things, and every player just wants it more this year. So it was a tough loss. So everyone's really grinding to win state championship this year.
Awesome. So, yeah, last year it was Will Chevalier's last year as the team captain. So who do you think this year will step up and kind of take that role of being a leader?
We got a ton of guys that are willing to step up. Everyone's really just putting their name out there, just being able to be a leader. So we got a ton of leaders, whether it's in the forward pack of Nolan Baker or Lou Miller, and then in the back line, Aton, Carl, and Sean. I mean, everyone's willing just to step up and just be able to do the best they can and lead other players.
Yep. So this year, you and the team are heading down to North Carolina after 2 years of being in Texas, competing with top teams down there. So how does this tournament compare to being in Texas for 2 years?
I mean, really no different, but there's going to be better teams. It's a bigger tournament. It's going to be 50 other rugby teams there that are also a ton of top-ranked teams in the nation. And we're just going to do what we do in Texas, just go, and we're just going to compete and try to win every game we can.
Awesome. So, yeah, so there's a lot of teams in Illinois that might stand in your guys' way. So who do you think those guys are, and how are they going to challenge us to get back to that state title this season?
There's still always Brother Rice. They're always a good team. We're going to have a lot of revenge coming into that game, that's for sure. And then every other team in our league is good, so we're just going to have to, play our game and just go out and just keep winning.
Awesome. Yeah, so going off of that, what are some key aspects of the game of rugby that you and the team will help to improve on this season to help you guys get back to the top and compete for a state championship?
So this year we're really focusing on conditioning, just making sure that we're the most conditioned team, just so we can outlast every other team and just keep going and keep hitting them till the very last whistle and just literally not even get tired while the other teams are down. So that's what we've really been focusing on right now, and focusing on the small things so we can win every ruck and do everything right. So
awesome. So you've been playing rugby here for 4 years at Neuqua. So what are your future plans for rugby going forward?
So I'm going to either be playing rugby at Illinois State or Western Michigan. I haven't made my decision yet, but it's going to be coming up pretty soon. So,
awesome, awesome. So finally, what message do you have for the underclassmen as they look to be the future of this club moving forward?
Yeah, so just enjoy it. Every practice, every game. It goes by so fast. So just enjoy every second you get to play. Whether it's practice or a game, just enjoy it. Just put everything you can into it and just have fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, Nick, and we will be back with Coach Rosie. Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of Valley Voice. I'm your host, Chris Baumgartner. Alongside with me today is Coach Rosie, who is assistant coach of the rugby team. Coach Rosie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Chris. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So my first question for you is, how long has Neuqua Rugby been a part of the Neuqua Athletics, and how has the club started here at Neuqua?
Well, actually, Chris, this is our 10th year now as a rugby club here at Neuqua. And we started with a friend of mine that I had played with, Graham Jackson. He was actually the one that started the team, thought of it first, and he asked me if I wanted to help him. So we had played together for a club rugby team in Chicago, and we started the team here, and we've done very well.
Awesome. So how have you looked to establish the culture of the rugby team when you first started and versus now?
You know, that's a great question, Chris, because our culture rugby team started from day one as that our primary goals is not necessarily at the end of the season our win-loss record. It's building strong character in our players, building respect, having players that not only respect the other players in our team, but also the other players we're playing against, referees, the other coaches, and that's something we build upon. We build upon strong camaraderie in the team. And some things that we do with the rugby club that are really unique to other sports here at Neuqua and other schools is that we practice all together, freshmen through seniors. So there's a great feeling of respect among the team. Everyone feels a strong part of the team, no matter who they are, whether they're the best player in the team and fit or not. And that's one of the things that I enjoy most about the team is we get a great group of players that some have never played before, being that rugby's kind of unique to some of them. But that's one of the things that we do. Just we always practice together. Although we do play 3 different teams. We have a freshman sophomore team, a JV team, and a varsity team. So that we do play separately, but during practice we all train together.
Awesome. So last year, coming off of a tough loss to Brother Rice in the state championship, how do you look to help the boys recover and get back on top this year?
Well, I think one of the things we do, Chris, is that we look at a loss like that. We had a tough game, but we had a great season. You know, that was a very good team we played in Brother Rice. Over the last 4 years, we've been to the state championship now four times, and we've won twice. So we've been very successful from that standpoint. But that game against Brother Rice, there's some things we could do better, and we've changed some of our strategies in practice, and we'll be doing some different things in the games to kind of be a stronger team. We learn, and from losses you learn. You have to look at a loss not as a negative, but we look at it as something that we can build upon, and we will be doing that this year.
Yeah. So for looking for things to build upon, what are some important rules and skills this year in rugby that you guys hope to improve on to get back on top for that state title?
That's a great question too, Chris. And one of the things that we plan on building on is our communication among the team. Rugby is a flowing game. It's a transitional game, very similar to soccer or basketball, hockey. And in a game like that, you need to communicate your teammates and talk. We want our players to help each other when they're on the field. That's one of the things that we're going to build on. That fitness, we're trying to take fitness to another level. Besides our practices during the week, we have CrossFit training for our players twice a week, which I know you go to on a regular basis, and it's great for our players, and we want to be fitter than the other team. You can make up for a lot of things through being fitter than the team you're playing against.
Awesome. So after competing in Texas the past 2 years, there's been a lot of good competition down there. So why did you guys decide to go to North Carolina this year?
Well, actually, the last 2 years we went to Texas, and we found that the competition there, we thought that it'd be very strong, and we have a very good program. And in Texas, the competition was not as strong as we thought it'd be, and I thought that we'd do better going to a tougher tournament. We like taking a spring trip every year. Helps build strong camaraderie on the guys on the team. We travel together, spend a weekend, and this year we're going to North Carolina. We're going to Charlotte, North Carolina for a tournament. There'll be 120 rugby teams, 120 high school rugby teams in this tournament. There'll be different levels, and we'll be playing in the elite level. And all the teams in our level are all nationally ranked, which we are currently as well. We're ranked in the top 25 nationally for high school rugby. All the teams we'll play will be nationally ranked. So it's been a great challenge for us and something that we want to do to get ourselves ready. And I think that's part of, when you mentioned before, losing the state championship last year, what can we do to improve? Well, I think it all starts from the beginning of the season.
Awesome. So finally, what legacy do you hope to leave behind for the Neuqua Valley rugby community as an assistant coach?
As far as myself, from coaching, I want to leave behind with the legacy that we have a very strong sport that I want players to enjoy playing. I want them to get back to what I mentioned before about respecting each other. as part of rugby, that we respect each other when we play. We play hard to get each other during the game. But one of the other things that we do with rugby, which is unique to other sports, is that after games, we have the after-game social with the other team. And we often have barbecues or have pizza, whatever. We usually get together with the other teams and get a chance to meet and talk to each other. And often many of our players that play for Neuqua, they play other schools, they tend to get to know these other players and play with them in college. There are many colleges today that have very competitive rugby programs, and right now we probably have 30 or 40 players that had played here at Neuqua. They're now playing at college level, and some at a very highly competitive level in college. So that's very good. So as far as a legacy, it's just that I want the boys to have a strong character and understand the sport, so they can go on and play in college, and that we can be part of the culture here at Neuqua. It's one of my goals from starting the team here at Neuqua, is we want to be part of the Neuqua community as far as athletics and sports. And so that's something that I think we've accomplished and I'm very proud of.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me
You bet.
today. And for Valley Voice, I'm Chris Baumgartner.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, geez.